Welcome back to FTK Diaries, your weekly escape into the wild world of parenting. Hey there, I'm Chef. He's Nerd.
Hey.
And together we're your dynamic duo of parenting wisdom and comedic relief. Join us as we embark on another episode filled with laughter, tears, and everything in between. From diaper disasters and teenage tantrums, no parenting topics is off limits. So whether you're a mom, dad, step-parent, or grandparent, we've got stories and advice to keep you entertained and inspired. So grab your headphones and a cup of coffee, maybe something stronger, and let's dive into another episode of FTK Diaries. Get ready for some real talk about the joys and the challenges of raising the next generation, because when it comes to parenting, we're all in this together. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Chef. I'm here again, as always, with the Nerd. Today we have 50 with us again, and our special guest today is
Shatheed.
Shatheed.
Shatheed is Shatheed.
Shatheed.
He's a shithead.
Okay. We was trying not to go that way, but it is what it is. Today's topic, revenge in the parenting mind. We were sitting here talking about how our kids think that we are dumb sometimes, and the things that they are doing now are brand new, never seen before, never heard of, and the part of us as parents, I know that I struggle sometimes with, just blowing the lid off of their whole operation of, they think that they are getting away with something, but then where's the lesson to be learned in that? So they think that I don't know that they're doing certain things, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, let's see how far they can take this before I go ahead and burst bubbles. And that revenge part comes in, because I can admit it. I've set my kids up. Because I know that they're going to follow through with what I think that they're going to follow through with.
I mean, who hasn't been?
I don't know. I got it set up as a kid, for snacks.
I still set kids up today.
I stole snacks.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Those are the main ones. The main ones. We are setting you up in 2024. I try not to. I really do try hard not to.
I still do every day.
What you mean? I get all kids, babies, to full-fledged adults.
Yeah, I'm gonna set you up.
We are all kids to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, if I know you gonna do it, oh yeah, for surely.
So, with that being said, can you remember a time growing up, being a teenager, maybe a young kid, where you're just like, oh, you'll never catch me doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Or, that thought process, and then now looking back at it as an adult, what that looks like?
I mean, most of the time, looking back as an adult, it's just like you just did a decade move. Like, it was just the dumbest thing you could have ever did. Like, in any example that you could put it, I had a couple. Like, I used to try to sell drugs as a young kid, thinking I was a smart guy and everything. And I tried to hide it underneath a crate, thinking it was really smart enough to put it underneath a crate inside of a corner.
With holes.
With holes, and put some leaves on top of it, thinking nobody's going to clean it up one day. And they got cleaned up the next morning. Everything took it. Money and all.
Yeah. Because nobody thinks that, no, most times it's, I'm so much smarter than other people that my plan will surely work.
Well, you gotta go on this note. Most of them do work. According to television nowadays, like, oh yeah, I learned this right here. I went on YouTube and I learned this. This is how Mr. Beast told. So why did I just go Mr. Beast? That is so wrong. I didn't mean to do that. But this is how so and so set it up this way. So I learned that lesson inside of there.
Mm-hmm.
What? Y'all wasn't successful in y'all schemes and plots?
Oh, I was, but
because I was about to say there's some stuff out there now. I didn't slid off on.
No, there's a lot.
Definitely not, especially when you get to like the teenage bracket and you start feeling yourself with women or young ladies at the time.
Yes.
Whew. I tell you, them high and go get it's.
Used to be.
But
Then
I-
release
Oh
the
wait, hold on,
dicks.
I remember
I
that.
can say I can only say from a female's point of view, like as far as being the mother of boys are very elementary when it comes to their planning. Females, from my own experience, ruthless. You will never know. There are things that I was able to get away with because I was a girl, and no one would ever think that this girl would do those things.
I just wish
people just now finding out about me.
Yeah.
Like literally as a 28, like they just now finding out things I did as a teenager.
Oh, that's a lot about me too. Everybody just kept on thinking
like
I was the
majority of
introvert
stuff about me.
and things like
Yeah,
that.
super
Well,
quiet.
no,
But we got to go.
Stay in the
But
house.
we just want to go on a note that she was bougie at trying to get away from trying to do things. She has a story about being bougie
What?
Well,
with a 40.
I just don't.
Bougie with a 40.
Bruh.
Nope.
no one would have, first of all, expected me to drink. I wouldn't say I was bougie. I would say that years of Catholic school and mannerism classes and all of those beautiful, lovely lessons, when I came out in college, those lessons still stuck. So one evening, me and my friends, we go to a frat party, and it was, I'm not sure the ratio of actual people that were in a frat in that house, but we'll just say that it was a frat party. And some guy goes, "Hey, you guys want something to drink?" And I was like, sure. So he proceeded to bring out 40s in paper bags, mind you. And being the lady that I am, or that I thought that I was at the time, I proceeded to ask for a straw, because why would we be just putting our lips all over this 40 bottle? That evening was the last evening that gentleman asked told my friends, "Don't bring her back around. Don't bring her around," because I asked for a straw. Needless to say, 40s were never my thing. If a 40 was involved at any point afterwards, I made sure that there was a Red Solo cup or something of the sort around, because to this day I still won't drink from a 40 without some sort of vehicle. I just can't. I can't.
Not even your own 40?
Not even my own 40. It's going in the glass.
What the? First of all, why are you drinking 40s? That's like drinking St. Ives.
I was in college. That's what we could afford.
Yes,
You know, back in the
you don't
day.
drink none of that.
I'm giving you a back in the day
Schleck smoke
scenario
liquor.
though. Back in the day, you can get a 40 for like $3.
You still can.
You still can.
You still get
40
40.
ain't
Yeah. I go
Yeah.
get 2 40s
Hold on.
from the
The
little
air-
shipper all the time.
The Arizonas went up. 40s didn't.
Okay. Well, that'll tell you.
Arizona's
That's,
$1.09 now.
well, that'll tell you. That's the last time I bought a 40 that I thought the price might have changed on a 40.
If the
Because it's
price
been.
change on the 40, we in depression.
That's like Cold Stone going up a few cents.
Yeah.
Still go get an OE for $3.
Really?
Facts. Right out the
Out
get
the,
go.
yeah, and they would come in glass bottles all the time. They might get you a plastic
It's
one.
definitely coming in
Interesting.
plastic. They don't even
I'm
Nice.
definitely a craft beer kind of lady now. I'm appreciative and honored that I get to say that. That I don't have to drink
you drink
40s.
like hops and
I do. It has to have a nice head to it. I like a fruitier beer.
Gross.
Or even, one that's has essence of something to
they
it.
taste like sparkling wines. Like if you can have a sparkling wine as a strong
Hey.
beverage, that's what they taste like.
Hey, listen.
It's literally like
There-
a fruity
Give
wine
me a shot
with a
of
little
tequila,
twang
cognac,
on
or
it.
whiskey.
White Claws ain't never did me wrong.
First of all,
you-
you out here drinking
you-
White
sauce.
Claws
What is
ain't
that, seltzer?
never did me wrong.
Yes.
You guys
Flavored
first.
seltzer
That's
water.
nasty.
That's all it is.
That's first.
With a,
It's
with the hint of
delicious.
alcohol.
What
And you don't feel so bad about it.
With the, you don't feel. You should feel very bad.
You're not taking that
So-
many calories.
Right, it's not even
That's
a real
what.
drink.
That's why White Claw was invented.
You know what it is? You know what you're
we
drinking?
talking about having a
Carbonated
revenge
water with
on your kids,
flavoring.
or-
And they say
Correct.
there's a splash, alcohol, whatever that is. It might be rubbing alcohol. Do you know?
3 of those get you right. Okay.
3.
3 of those.
You're talking.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
No, we're good. We're
6
good.
of
We're good.
those.
We drink.
We good.
We drink liquor.
A half a bottle of
Liquor.
Henny, I'm just getting started. I'm like,
You
Okay,
hear
well,
what my
but
man
listen,
said? Liquor.
we're at a cookout. We're having fun. We're
telling
keeping
you
it
right
casual.
if you don't know
Once
me by
again-
now, you know 9 times out of 10, if you're going to a cookout or something like that, with a little casual, I got a 5th of Henny in my pocket.
Okay.
Not a
You
5th
know,
of
some
wine.
bottle of
I'm
Henny
like,
somewhere around
sometimes
me,
he
or
always
The
got
tequila.
one of
occasion
his
doesn't
corner
call
shot.
for a Henny. Sometimes.
Tequila.
There's not a Henny moment. You can Henny anything.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I'm done. with
It's so good
all
right
years.
now. Look, Henny's so good that I made it into a wing sauce.
Oh goodness. You know what?
I'm gonna just go with this note.
Glazed.
Hold on. I got this. Since we're talking about, stupid thing that I thought I could actually get away with. And this was being in high school, being a teen, and living with my grandmother and my brother. My grandparents went down to the bike show in Tennessee. Me and my brother decided to call. We went to Du Bois, picked up who I was dating, went to the other house, picked up who I was dating. He took the upstairs. Stupidly took my grandparents' room. I thought I was gonna get away with this, and then my aunt walked in the house. Chris is upstairs, all locked up, and I'm just saying, we got snitched out right then and there. So you know what your grandchildren are doing? Nothing. Just chilling here.
They're trying to get some cut for real.
Wow.
That was a bad
Yeah,
setup.
Who would have thought the nerd was over here planning and plotting, trying to get some cut on the low.
I wish you would know
So,
the full story of this man.
Going back, we can definitely see when our teenagers try to be sneaky on the low.
I just want.
As if we don't understand.
Okay, I got this question. It is 2024. Why you got a hickey on your neck?
Alright, so
No, I don't. I popped a pimple. No.
There's
I have
reviews on it.
I fell up
gotten
the
this.
steps.
I fell up the steps. I fell
Okay.
off the skateboard and
Okay.
got this on my neck
I'm
right
gonna let
here.
you know what's going on. Okay, there's levels to hickeys. Because
Levels?
no, there is, because it depends on what you doing. Some of them hickeys are just hickeys, and some of them other hickeys is real intimate moments you have it with some young lady with y'all clothes off, and somebody's getting it in. I'm just saying.
Somebody got some cut.
That cut slid long and strong,
There's
and
levels.
sometimes
And you can tell by the darkness.
when you're young,
If
you
it
know
look-
what's funny
if
though?
it looked like he got strangled and somebody like really did some shit, yeah.
You know what's crazy? We're more intimate as young people than we are adults. Cause you don't care when you're young. You don't care what you do. Like you just
but
be in it.
You as an
live
adult
in
walking
it.
around with that on your neck is wild.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But intimacy from a child, from like a teen, young adults aspect to an older person, to anybody that's like in their 30s and above.
Because you know better.
You don't know. It ain't even a know better. It's not about the hickey part. I'm talking about the intimacy. Just the intimacy alone. Nah, we be selling ourselves short and giving out half approaches to people all the time. Because it's like when you get hurt. When you get hurt in a relationship, you no longer do exactly what you did in the last one.
Correct.
Why?
Because as a younger person, you're just exploring things and you're like learning what you like and what you don't like, right?
Alright.
So as an adult, you've learned those things, like you said, you've been hurt. So then that changes the things you will and won't do with any and everybody.
But that's crazy.
When you're younger, you will.
But that's crazy because then we turn around and be hypocritical about this space all the time. They be like, oh, well, you shouldn't let something change you, right? That's the basis to most things.
Like, I know for myself, when I was younger, I made out. I used to make out all the time with people. I loved making out. Actually doing the do, absolutely
That's
not.
dangerous.
That That's what I'm saying. Doing the full on, absolutely not. That was not happening. But making out, the swapping of spits was a thing for me. Then as an adult, that was a no.
But why? Because in reality,
because I knew better.
Yeah, but then you go to the adult side and then you do all the adult things, and it's the same thing.
It is.
It's even worse. It's even worse. Now
but
you're
there's
getting
a level of intimacy that comes with kissing or making out.
Yeah.
As an adult, you don't necessarily think about those things.
So
you
were
know
you just
what comes.
Wild? Were you just like having little kiss moments all over the place?
Yes.
You're crazy. But
I was.
I see why you calm down. But I'm saying I see why you calm down. But I'm saying when you like people,
we get married and
we'll take the separation.
Is that 3 weeks?
So we'll really take the separation out the space. Okay, let's say now we're all adults now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you approach somebody now, the approach should still be in the same category of what you are, but it changes even now as an adult. If somebody hurts anybody in this room right now, we're going to change. Well, I'm not, but most people are going to change.
You're not human.
No, because I don't believe to take away something because someone else showed me they couldn't handle it. I don't believe that. I don't believe if I go over here and I talk to this girl the same way that I've been talking my whole life, why would I change it now because this person hurt me, she couldn't understand the talk. Now, I don't care that you didn't understand the talk. Yeah, it hurt over there. Yeah, I had my space in it. But I'm not going over there with it. I'm not going over there with that.
When does it become, okay, this person does not understand the way that I'm speaking to them and I care about them, maybe I should change the approach, same message, different approach, so that maybe that they would understand.
Yeah, that's for when you're talking to the person that's in front of you when you first do it. If you don't try it the first time, then you're really just not being you. You're changing you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Every step. I won't do that. That's the one thing that's the one thing I stand on. The person I am got you in front of me. So why would I change that? Why would I change that for anything? And then that could go for any space.
In the beginning of a relationship, though, you're not showing every single facet of you until that a situation happens. And
I get that, but their approach is about the same almost around the block. It may be started in a different space every time. You know what I'm saying? So the space you may find your person or the how it's relative to you in the space, that's gonna change always. But I'm saying the base of you, just like we're all sitting here, we all know each other. We're in this room. Any of y'all can say who I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
You all know me. When I step into another person, they still know me until you get to the levels. Yes, there's levels.
Mm-hmm.
But the beginning part of this, of who I am, just on the outer shell, you get that 100%. Even the little tidbits to where this could lead to.
Well, you're a rare breed. You're a rare breed because I don't know very many people that you will know every facet of them within, honestly, the first 6 months of knowing somebody.
I don't even want you to not
know. The first 6 months of somebody.
It's because I don't make assumptions.
That with Nerd, it wasn't until I was able to see him at an angry point that I could make a decision okay, this is real, because I needed to see what his escalation was to know that I was okay with that situation. And that kind of comes along with feeling safe as a woman in a male space, if that makes sense.
We still skip past the part. We're skipping past this part. It's just really just as short and sweet to being okay, the same way I dap up my homies is the same way I approach a woman when I see her.
But is that fair? Because not every person deserves that same level, if that makes sense.
But you're taking you're taking it too far because you're speaking as if you're giving your all in the moment. No, you can't do that. That's not possible.
No, he's just
so when I'm just saying on the what's up, like what's up with you, da da da, like we chopping it up right here. It's the same what's up, chopping it up. No matter what the content is, no matter, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, but people change all of that. Like, they don't even do the approaches no more. No one, like, we live in a world where
you're talking no longer, about like this, when a guy approaches a female and kind of starts to rap to her, like,
but that changes for everybody, because even when women get into a space, they leave out so much more. Now it's so many facets to this. It just be too much. Like, why do we change that part? Because honestly, that's the only part you're really interested in.
Now, is that something you think that is, so kind of going on a different note here, what about music today? Like, a lot of music today, females are very blatant with what they can do, where it can come from, and how you could take it.
I feel like music's pushed from a different perspective. It's not even for like what the actual artists even want to say 9 times out of 10 is versus what their label want them to push out there. So like the music level is just like.
But whenever you have a group of people that are listening to that and they're like, yeah, you know, I'm being real, I'm being honest, I'm being truthful, and they're telling you those things, are you going to treat them according to what they're telling you, or are you still going to treat them with the same?
But isn't it the same stuff we've been listening to our whole life? Let's be honest. Like, if we could go on any genre, it's all messed up. If we could go to
when you had me listen to a song from like 1911 where the black woman was sitting up there saying, "Oh, suck his," I said, "Oh my God, that was back then."
But also with music, it's also up to you. Is you going to put that into your own perspective of life every day?
Right.
So you're going to let music. You're going to let music control how you see life.
Okay, so but back to him meeting someone, and this person has that persona, and you see that persona, are you still going to treat that person with the same amount of what's up as the next?
Because I still got to give you a chance. Just because that's like saying I walk into a room and I'm a turned person. You know me, when I walk into the room and I'm lit. It is what it is. But that doesn't make me less than the calm person I am when I'm chilling, or the smart person I am when I'm reading, or, you know what I'm saying, the informational person I'm going to be most of my life, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't change just because you meet. I meet, like, you go to a bar, you expect to meet bar people. Yeah. But sometimes them bar people are outside walking in the streets. I'm one of those people. I might not be drunk and stuff, but I can give you that same type of flair and excitement, and I'm that everywhere. But it doesn't always approach what, like, I be in the grocery store by myself like that, just in the house having a good time by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, people think I can feel that people think that I'm weird because I smile at people in the store. Because if you don't look me in my face, I'm gonna give you the.
So when you interact with different people, do you just judge them off rip and you decide on how you're going to approach them when they say something back?
Repeat that.
So a random person, if 5 random people came up to you in one day, are you doing 5 different approaches?
No.
It's the same approach every single time.
Pretty much.
So what is different from what he's
until something changes.
Okay, so
once again, what's
the
different
initial of this was you agree with me that you don't change. You are you in the beginning.
I am.
Yeah, that's
for
fine.
For the most part, I will say my approach to different situations changes.
Yeah, but
so
that's anybody.
I'm still a super bubbly person, but I can do corporate bubbly. I can do.
So let me ask you another question. Then. So you meet 5 different people in one day, and something dramatic happened, no matter what it is, and it's the same situation with 5 different people. Are you still going to have the same approach?
Probably not.
More apprehensive?
It depends on the situation, where I'm at.
The situation is the same situation, just a different spot.
Okay.
And a different person. That's the only thing that's going to change. The people and the location is the only thing that change. Same exact situation. Are you still going to have 5 different approaches?
No.
So then pretty much you're going to be the same
way
at all points in time in your life.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't.
I'm not someone that gets too rattled easily. So if something were to happen, I know how to maneuver in each situation the same exact way.
So if with the same 5 people, right again, same question over again, different location, same situation, but one person did something super dramatic that made you change your view on what happened, would it change your view on how you would approach somebody else?
Yeah, say that's the first person you meet. So the other 4, are you going to be different because of that first person you met? Or are you going to still be you because
No, I'm still
that's
gonna
just
be
who
me.
you are?
Even with the
But
third
I still
person,
will
knowing
go
that you know
to
the
the situation. I still will go into the situation with apprehension.
See, but that's not what we live in. That's not what these kids do. That's not what adults are doing. Like, it's very, I have to change because this is going to get me a better outcome, or this is going to get me a better opportunity, or I need to rise to the level I don't live in.
And also, on top
Or I
of that,
believe in-
everybody's point of view is 100% different.
Always.
Like,
Yeah.
this person might want to just not work every day and get something from somebody else. This person might work every single day and
But I've
barely
always
get anything.
I've learned to go into situations with a clean slate, for the most part, and that's
And that's not a clean slate.
somewhat because I've come from a corporate background of, as soon as you are off a phone call or leaving someone's office, you start all over again as if it's brand new. Your first customer is always your next customer is always your first customer. That kind of scenario. So I've always gone into the next situation after something dramatic has happened, the same way, but there's always a level of, just in case this goes left, this is what I have to do.
Do you take that same mind state when you try to take revenge on your kids?
Yes.
Knowing that they're going to do something?
I'm expecting something.
Do you
But I always
figure out, like, try to get to that same outcome that you're doing? Like you know your kid's about to run out with this little girl and try to do this, that, and the third with her.
Yes.
Are you there to try to set up the situation even more just so you can try to prove them wrong on something?
A rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but the beauty a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beauty.
Yeah, you lining them up like that, 'cause that's deep.
Or is you trying to set them up to like get an understanding initial of whatever view it is that you're trying to show them at that point in time?
I do it so that they can see that line of progression to where they went wrong.
So what if they don't see it, then what? Like,
Then the lesson has to be learned again.
so you're going to just keep setting them up.
It,
Crazy. That's crazy.
it's not even setting them up. That's where I'm kind of turning. I
you
don't
like the,
want
you,
to
you don't
set
like the
them
wordage, but you are.
up. Yeah.
You're basically setting them up
constructing your space.
to make how I see it, just from how you're wording it. You're just setting them up to fail because you want them to basically
Learn the
see
lesson.
your and only your view though.
Correct.
So
And I know that
can
that's
you-
not necessarily the best way, but I'm still learning as well.
Yeah.
And that's the only way
Right.
that I know.
I got you.
And at some point, the lesson will be learned, but I cannot continue to get in the way of the lesson.
So, for example, with the middle child in a previous situation that happened and everything, how do you kind of like trying to change that? Because this is the same, you know what I'm saying, situation going on over and over again. He's screaming this, that, and the third. That's like thinking that's happening in his mind, but it's really not in reality. And
Yeah.
like, how do we come about that kind of? So, like,
Well, for him, it's definitely coming out of now. It's not setting up. It's more of, I need to guide this a little bit differently. I'm still learning how to I'm still figuring out how to get that done. But at the same time, I am also learning to get out of the way. And that hard lessons, a really, really, really hard lesson has to be learned. And I cannot get in the way of that lesson being learned. That's the hard part. Because I see I don't want to even call it a failure, but I see the blow up at the end of the road happening. Mm-hmm. And the hard part is staying out of the way so that the lesson can be learned. But it's hard because you don't want your child to be hurt. What? But it's almost like you have to let them.
I do. I want my kid to experience.
Yeah.
I'm all about experience. So for me, I'm the polar opposite of you. I want my kid to go all the way through it, and then let's talk about it at the end. Mm-hmm. Because now I can tell you, you've went through it, you felt it. So tell me how you feel. Give me your expression on it, so I can be like, hey, this is what I seen from it.
But what happens when the end is not, like, that line keeps moving further and further back?
You can't stop it either.
You can't stop
That's
it.
That's the one thing, like...
You're going to have to find out what it is in between at the time, kind of. Like, if he keep bringing up this one point, you're going to have to tell him about that one point. But then he brings up another one. Mm-hmm. You have to revert it back to make sure that he even understand that one thing before he goes on to the next situation.
I need all of you guys' different approach to this one, to what just happened with the 18-year-old.
Well, can you overall give a background?
Yeah, that's you.
So, our 18-year-old went to a party where I was not keen to him going to, because I knew, intuition, I knew that something may transpire that is going to be a mess. I knew something, because there had been a lot of things brewing already with him personally that I knew.
And this is where I came in to the fact of, I sat down with him before and even told her to actually hush up and let him be. He has been working hard for this. This is one thing that he wants. We sat down for an hour. We came up with a safety plan and everything else. So that was my approach to that.
So here's my approach. Anyone that knows...
And then
after
that party came those things.
Anyone that knows the chef knows that someone telling me to quiet is a hard feat. But I did. And I said, fine. So the 18-year-old decided that in order to have fun, they would drink. And not only drink, but drink heavily. So much so that their friend was concerned about them. And when I spoke to the 18-year-old, I could hear in his voice. So I go to pick him up. And he decides to leave said party because he didn't want to get picked up and be felt like he was a child. Which he is. Which he shouldn't have been drinking. But that's besides the point, because once again, being a safe space, my children know that in a situation that is dangerous or fearful or, needs to be rescued from, to call. So I'm glad that once again their friends that also knew that this was a safe space to call if there was a situation. That was a very long, tiring, emotional evening, to say the least. Hours upon hours.
That was morning.
Yeah, it was early.
We got
morning.
him at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I want to make sure I got this right. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me he went out to a party, mm-hmm. he had a good time, mm-hmm. he didn't want judgment, and that's what happened in the space.
Yeah, he came home and got judged.
Yeah. No, so it wasn't necessary. No.
I'm just saying.
There was drama that was occurring.
So you have to say
at the party. He was getting into random people's spaces. His friends were concerned that he was going off with random people. and he was blackout drunk.
Okay, so like I said, he went to a party. He had a good time. Everybody's concerned, and he didn't want judgment. So, from my side of this, as being him,
Yes.
you trusted me to go have a good time. I finally go work for this space, you said, right?
Hmm.
And then I go to the space. Nothing happened to me, right?
No.
Just a lot of people
So,
concerned.
a lot of people were concerned because they've never seen me like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time enjoying this space unfiltered. What am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to act? How am I supposed to be responsible in something I don't do? How do I get to a space where you give me the space to show you, hey, this is the first time. This is my first offense. You got to let the first one ride. You might say a little something, but you got to let the first one ride because you got to be able to show that you can do better. The first time I'm not going to do better. I don't know no better. First time I had a shot, it burned my chest off. Why did I go back?
Well, I think
That's because of our granddad.
I
No, but I'm
That's
saying,
why we went back.
but even in that, even if somebody tell you, you still be like, no, that burned my chest, and I still wanted to be something, whatever I viewed. So
I think for me, where I was struggling was, I'm an adult. I can make adult decisions. I'm fine. But then it's, okay, come rescue me. Come help me. Fix this situation for me.
It happens a lot.
And it happens a lot. And I'm
We
just
talked
like...
about that last time.
So just say, why couldn't
hold
you
up,
just pick them up, drop them off home, and leave them be? Or was he the one?
The reason we definitely got him walking a freeway.
And
while
he didn't want to be
intoxicated.
picked up.
no.
Hold on, while intoxicated.
No,
So it's
I get-
that one
I
was
get
that
to get him, period.
dangerous situation.
But outside of that, he lived a very basic beginning to alcohol. I'm sorry, but my first time with alcohol, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was at a party, the basement parties back in the day.
Yeah,
Party was lit. Girls everywhere, homies everywhere, all kind of stuff in the
Yes.
party. I'll name nameless.
Yes.
But there was red Solo cups,
Yes.
there was red ones, blue ones, and they looked purple on the red light that was down there. You
Yes.
feel me?
Yes.
I'm living my best life. I think it's water, juice, whatever. Lit. I'm lit. Boy, I ended up several blocks later, somebody else's house, tore down. I tell you, I can't tell you whose name, what, or how I got here. It was my first experience in my freedom, in this space, and you don't know what's gonna happen. We all been there, and we do it with everything. We turn up,
Yeah.
even as adults, we try to go back to it. That's what's the rude part.
Oh, yeah,
As an
for real.
adult, when you turn up with your friends,
Yeah.
when your friends be like, "Girl, you coming outside?" You be like, "Yeah, I'm coming, girl." Let me tell my man.
Hold on.
Drunk stuff is crazy.
Can I park? Can I park? If I can't park, I gotta pay for parking, or I gotta search for park. No, that's a no.
That's now, though. That's now, though.
As a kid?
That's what it is.
As a kid,
As
it
a
kid,
was...
you don't think none of that.
As a kid, what did I do? Hold
I
on.
have walked
No.
several blocks
I'm glad
in
you
heels
just said that.
in the winter
That was
time
my first drunk story.
without a coat.
What?
Hold on. We all have those stories.
Hold on. Your son just did that.
100%.
Just wasn't in the same space you wanted.
Yes.
And no matter what he kind of did on the highway, yes, it was super dangerous and everything for him to do. But once again, he was blackout drunk, and he
He
didn't
did
wanna be
exactly what you
arrested
just said.
Yeah, I was very. I told.
That's why I said it sucks.
It's so
What
dangerous.
happened?
It sucks as an adult
Yeah,
because
you're-
you don't
you're
think
his
about how much
mother.
dangerous
Oh my
stuff.
God, it was so dangerous. Now change your perspective, and I was your friend with him. What would you have do? What would you have done?
It still was...
y'all have been
9
walking
times
this.
out of 10,
y'all
you
have
would
been
have been
walking
next
this.
to him, walking on the freeway, blackout drunk.
I still struggle Okay, I as a mother still struggle with separating.
That's fine, but we're just
the
calling out the
person
views
from the title.
I get
It's hard separating my 18-year-old from being my 8-year-old son to my 18-year-old child.
So it's just that when this do happen and we do have these conversations, you just have to honestly, like he said, you're changing everything about it every single time, when sometimes you just have to honestly let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it happen.
But then
and come back to
as mom, I feel like I get a lot of flack for when I'm very hands off of situations.
So are you a mom for an 18-year-old kid or 18-year-old adult?
I'm trying to be the mother of an 18-year-old adult.
Okay, so
and be as hands off as possible.
Are you the mother for a 16-year-old kid or a 16-year-old adult?
That's where we struggle.
Are you the mother of a 19-year-old kid or a 19-year-old adult? Am
I the mother of an 18-year-old kid or an 18-year-old adult? I'm still raising my children, so I still have children. I want so desperately to get out of that space.
You're not.
I'm ready to get out of that space.
You're ready to do it, but also it's just like some of these ruddies is just like how you're approaching it. Just actually like super like you're being mom of a child and not treating them like an adult. Like some of these situations, it's just like overall like you're creating the problem, and some of it on how you're approaching it.
Even in the aspect of kid and adult, this is how I think. So even in hearing how you just approached it, for me, no, they're kids. You don't become an adult till later. I'm sorry to tell you, you don't become an adult till you go through. Even if you want them out the house, like that's the adult phase of it. Even to get them to learn the lesson, the kid, you have to have the consciousness to be like, that's still going to be a childish action that happens. Yes, you want them to learn the lesson. Yes, they've grown up to get a different status of being the child, not being a kid, but being the child of my mother. Yes,
but
for
also
sure.
With that same thing, it's just like you're going to just keep a kid then.
No,
because it's
you're
just
not.
like
but
you kind of are though, because like some things are just like you. For every last one of y'all, whoever raised you, no matter what, or however you raised, or no matter what, at some point in time, in your teenagers between the ages of 14 to 17, and that is true for every last one of us, you became an adult. You did adult things. You made adult decisions. Yeah, but your parents also didn't know what you was doing. And it's kind of different here because you know what they're doing. They're going to tell you what you're doing. So you have to treat them same situations like they're an adult sometimes too. Yeah, you don't become an adult until a certain point in your life and somebody tells you that you're an adult. You became a good adult.
It's really perspective. Yeah. Like, I understand you're putting all the back end of it. But I'm saying, we already know all this. We already know this. We've lived this already. Yeah. What I'm saying is, she needs to bury these are my babies. They're still your kids. Just like right now, we're all still somebody's kids. Mm-hmm. We're never going to get away from that. So when you think about it in the bigger side of this, now that we're older, you be like, okay, my child is going to act away. For sure. My child's going to act away all the way until I'm gone and beyond that. Bet. But the space more so is just to be, okay, yes, they're growing up. Okay, now they're in this bracket of teenage years. Teenage years is the craziest thing you do. Yeah, teenage really years is from it. Some people was early. 15 to 25 is almost teenage years. Legitly, and it don't gotta be that long, but most people, by the time they get about 25, you really start paying attention to how much you doing outside. You feel me?
Yes.
So in reality, it's being like, okay, they got a long while to go. Yes, they need to learn some things. Yes, it's not going to be easy. Yes, it's still going to be moments where you want to be full-fledged. It's like, I'm on that ass. No. Don't do that. Yeah. Yes, talk to them. Yes, give them a clear representation on how you feel. Try not to be so, you know what I'm saying, on that ass. Because because it's a little rough. But if this was a occurring thing for him, like every time he go out, he done did this 3 times.
Yeah.
He's walking. Get on his ass, because now you putting yourself in real danger. There's other people that could possibly be in real danger. But this first one, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not saying you don't feel what you feel. Go through it. But you also just gotta be like,
it's also like every situation
because we went
with
through
him
all those emotions.
Yeah,
right? Because
every
you was mad.
situation with him is his first time for everything he did.
Yeah, true.
Like every situation is different, and it's his first
But all of
time
them
for
are new.
all of it. Yeah, so
all of them are new.
so you
Right.
don't learn.
I just
you
told
don't
him I
know how
was
to-
disappointed in the fact that
That is the worst thing to ever
we
tell
sat
somebody.
down because of the safety plan. Like we really
I understand
because it's all.
But you ain't never had a safety plan. Where's your safety plan?
I never had
Are
a
you
safety
going to
plan.
remember a safety plan when you blackout drunk?
When you happy about going to go.
But saying it multiple times, I would have thought.
No.
Because I said it in different forms.
Y'all told us he is
Look.
blackout drunk. He can't make a decision for himself.
There's no comprehension in
He
here,
can't even
but
tell you what
ha, I'm having a good time.
Well,
They're looking at me. She
into the
smell
story,
good, and I'm making it somewhere. Where we going?
He was adamant. It took 2 days for him to admit that he had been drinking.
So why you pestering him for 2 days?
No. There was no 2-day conversation. That evening, after that evening, I was done. I said what I said. He said what he said. The next day, we got some clarification, and still, I wasn't drunk.
Right. Okay. You just told me you try to make a logical conversation with a drunk.
That's all I keep thinking about.
That's all I'm hearing. You're just like,
well,
yeah.
But this is the thing.
But he was drunk in that moment.
My conversation. That's when my conversation that evening or that morning stopped, because I knew nothing that I was saying was getting
through. 30 minutes,
through.
and you should have thought to yourself, no matter how old this person is,
when that drunk
I'm talking
person,
to a drunk.
When that drunk
and
person,
you gotta recall his whole life of what may have happened.
So how come any other time and 5 random people that you talked to in a day that was super fucking drunk, and you made the decision to say, I'm talking to a drunk, I know how to cut this out, you didn't make that decision?
I was trying.
You tried for how long?
I tried.
How long did this conversation go on for?
I tried to get out of the conversation for some time.
I just told him to go to bed. I said, I don't want to talk. Go to bed.
That makes sense.
Hold on. I told him. I said, I don't want to talk. Go to bed.
Hold on. You tried to get out of the conversation for how long, real quick?
You said hours.
And just for shits and giggles, what room in the house was you in? Was it the living room?
No. His room.
Okay, you could have shut his fucking door, walked into your room, shut your fucking door, and said good night.
I'll talk to you when you get some clarity.
Can't you lock your door?
Yeah.
So
but
what is
I
the
think
fucking
in that moment there was so
He was
much
annoying
emotions.
his brothers.
There was
So
so many
what?
That was the
emotions
thing.
going
what you
on.
took-
You know how this. Hold on. And you know
recovering.
Hold on. You know how the 16-year-old is.
How many?
Just go on this note.
I understand.
So you know what I would have told the 16-year-old?
And R ran away.
Go downstairs into your brother's room and lock the door on your way in. That simple. There's other rooms in this house.
16-year-old is freaking hilarious. He said, "Go ahead, walk in the line. Walk in the straight line."
Right, because he knew exactly what he
If you would have
was.
told the 16-year-old find a way to lock him in his room from the outside, he would have did it, and everybody would have been good.
So I just had to show some proof to 50 and Shahid here of what I was experiencing. And yeah.
So it just went back to what I was saying. Sometimes you gotta back out as well and let them be an adult and let them experience their things, and then have the conversation after to like show them kind of where they went wrong or how they can approach that same situation differently.
Cause they really gotta go through it like we went through it. You gotta go through being messed up, your recovery day or two, and then come back and have, cause you gotta put it together.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know that's what they doing, they can't tell you right now. They still drunk.
That's what he said. That's what he said. He was like,
if they even had fun.
Right.
He was
He
like,
trying to figure out what happened. Period.
Yeah.
it was embarrassing to tell your mom that you drank as much as you did. And I was like, I get it, but I get it. And there's not a whole bunch I can say about it, but I just wasn't ready. I don't think I was ready to deal with a drunk 18-year-old. I wasn't ready.
You know what's crazy? What are we ready for ever in life? Honestly, because it's an experience.
I didn't know how it was gonna be to have a drunk ass goddamn cousin come to your door.
But once again, with these situations, 9 times out of 10 for all three of them,
I love you,
it's their
cuz.
first time doing these things, so that how they can't even they shouldn't even be bashed for even doing it or judged in any form of a way for even doing anything. Because once again, it's their first time doing it. They gotta find out even if they had fun, even if they felt bad about even doing it, and how they gonna come to you to you know what I'm saying, to say that they even did those things.
Cause you gonna beat yourself up first. That's first. Cause you gonna be like, damn, I'm so messed up, bro. I'm stupid as hell. Like shit. And you might be going through that, trying to wake up. Still going. Like I said, when you go through anything first, whatever you did, you are a abuser of the space. Essentially, like even with having fun, when you had so much fun, sometimes you had too much fun and you do something stupid.
True.
Now it's trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just having too much of something. When you're enjoying something at a high rate of something and you don't know how to slow it down, oh boy, you're hitting the gas, talking about turn left or right, you're not doing neither. You're going straight. There might be a wall right there. You're hitting that wall, going through it, and falling off the cliff. They'd be hanging off on the edge on the other side. They'd be like, oh, somebody help me get up.
I guess I definitely understand, and almost I try to be the parent that I wish that I had growing up, that I didn't have to hide, but at the same time, I wasn't ready for the not hiding part.
Right. Just go ahead, have you.
Yeah.
You got 3 of them, man. You know what I'm saying?
And they're all completely different.
And they're all boys, and you're right. They all got different styles.
It's also very different because you're open with your kids.
Yes.
Like y'all are very open with each other. Like y'all. So, but like how everybody else grew up, we wasn't as open with our parents or grandparents.
We wasn't even gonna get the space to do it. Like what?
But I want them to.
Maybe the aunt.
Yeah, that's about it.
For us, that'd be.
They probably had. I mean, besides them finding out, all they had was speculations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
especially for us,
they didn't have no hard.
Yeah, like you really knew where your kid was going. Your kid really went to where your kid said he was going.
Yeah, for the most part, I can always say I know where my kids are at all times. Right. Even if I don't want them to be there in that place, I know where they are.
Be happy in that, because you didn't know where we was. We didn't have cell phones. You couldn't track us. We had to make a phone call. We made the phone call so we could get to where we was going for real. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really be going to their destination. Yeah. We was really like, we're going to this. We're going to so-and-so's house. So-and-so's people might be the good people in this block that might let us slide. You feel me? Yeah. It's their uncle. When their uncle called, they hear da-da-da, they playing the game downstairs type shit. I got
caught by my crackhead uncle. He wasn't even supposed to be in the neighborhood, bro.
Crackheads travel everywhere and they catch you all the time.
I found out at 17.
You be sitting there talking about what you doing over there, nigga.
We just got some weed, was walking down the alleyway to the bus stop, about to go to Fright Night from Garfield, trying to go all the way over to Kennywood. You know what I'm saying? And he caught us 2 blocks before the thing, took the weed out of her hand, and ran down to the crib to my grandma's house with it in his hand to say, like, he got us smoking it.
Wow.
Luckily, she wasn't hung.
I don't know.
I think you got us smoking it. Uncle Roy, you high. You high.
Out my hand and everything. Jeez.
But for real, ain't nothing better than getting caught.
He wasn't catching it.
It's like, as much as we be like, you don't want to get caught, ain't nothing better than that relief for you actually getting caught, so you don't really got to be like, I don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing like that.
Yeah, alright.
I'm saying not the reaction you get afterwards, but once you grow into it, you be like, dang, yeah, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But I'm also the same person that most people didn't find out I do half of the stuff I do until I was like 23,
caught, I was going to
24.
foster home.
Well.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting caught. there was no other option.
I came and visited you, found you.
Yeah, alright.
We did the same stuff up there.
Yeah, shit, I liked it there.
That's right. Man said, nah, I definitely stayed at the kid.
You know
Nah,
what
if
I'm
I'd have been
saying? I was with
anything
my
like that, I'd
I
have
was
put
with my
everything.
actual grandparents and all that. Oh yeah, come on, let's get it.
Yeah, if I was gonna get kicked out the group, it couldn't have been me. I was actually the baby of. I was the older baby, but the baby of the group.
I was the middle child, but I was a kid that, you know what I'm saying, the quiet one. Nobody thought I did anything. Like I said before, the people are just now finding out about things that I did.
Yeah, I can say a lot of stuff that I've done. Oh yeah, definitely didn't find out until I was damn near a couple years ago.
You know what I'm saying? And it was on a drunk night of somebody telling a story.
A good like 26, 27 was like the highlight reel in coming out to the world.
Same,
Like, what you been
24?
doing? Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Who was around basically that whole damn time? Oh, that'd be me.
I told you, only two people that do all the craziness is him and Chris. The only two, when I tell you, the only
It's probably
two
the
people.
same for all three of y'all.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
We really know the mix of everything. Like they know everything I was in, except for like little minor details when I would disappear from every bar. Then no one knew what was going on there.
Yeah, I got a lot.
No one. I got a couple of them too.
Decided to go skip the state real quick.
That was 90% of me.
Yeah, I was a good for being like, I was just here. Where'd it go? He been gone for a while now. Where you in at?
After a while, they knew I was gonna be gone for like 3 or 4 days and come back home. What you do? Don't worry about it.
Lucky you got it 3 or 4 days. I'm talking about like 6 months to a year. I was good at disappearing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. End it.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up again today. Thank you so much for being with us, Shahid. 50 as always, nerd, love you. Thank you so much for listening to us babble on about randomness of parenthood. We appreciate you. Until next time, bye.
A rich man's world.